Oh my goodness, I almost said happy Friday. Why does it feel like Friday today? It's literally Tuesday, but oh my goodness, what a great week, a short week. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Hopefully, you know me. I am Zap, your Renew Nashville and Membership Program Manager at the Entrepreneur Center. I'm super excited to do this workshop with Katie. She is a longtime EC advisor, a great source of information and knowledge coming to us to talk about, I think, a super important topic of networking. When we've kind of sent out to folks in the Renew Nashville a survey asking like what they need the most support on, honestly, networking is one of the highest things on the list. It's a little tough in these virtual times, but you still have to do it. So definitely a timely topic. Anyways, thank you everyone for being here. Please interact today. I know people, Zoom nature, people have their videos off, which is totally okay. But when we go in these breakout rooms, it's time to network, time to chat. But thanks for everyone joining. Thanks so much for Katie for tuning in and presenting to us. Anyways, Katie, I will hand things off to you.
Great. Can you allow me to share my screen?
Yes, I think you should be allowed. Are you not allowed?
Oh, let's see. Sorry.
No worries.
Sorry, everyone.
No worries. I can't believe I thought it was Friday. What a goofy feeling day. It is the weirdest Tuesday. I'm still going to work tomorrow, though.
Actually, Zap, I might need you to pull up the slides.
Oh, no. Okay, let me find them.
Here we go. Sorry. I think I got it. There you go. Can you see?
I cannot see yet.
Okay.
But your video is off. Let me keep pulling them up.
Yeah, I'll just need you to pull it up if you don't mind.
Yep, and then.
Thank you.
Voila, there we go. Just tell me to go to the next slide.
Sure. Thank you so much. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. I know it's, like Zap said, it definitely does feel like Friday with a holiday, and I just appreciate your time today. Well, today we're going to talk about networking for solopreneurs. I am a solopreneur myself, and if you'll go to the next slide.
1 second. Sorry, I might need to put it on a different mode.
It's all right. The world of Zoom.
There we go.
Okay, great. Well, like I said, I'm a solopreneur myself, but I've had quite a journey working in the corporate world as well. So I have 20 years of experience in marketing and public relations, and I've worked for very large Fortune 500 companies, for some nonprofits, for some startups, and this is my second stint as an entrepreneur. I'm a solopreneur for now. I hope to grow my business and hire a bunch of people as needed. But my first company I started was back in 2010. It was a corporate event planning company. And now I own a marketing and PR consulting firm. I work mainly with healthcare clients. And I've been doing that for, about a year and a half. So just a little bit of background about how I came to start, two businesses and how networking has really helped me do that. I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. I moved to Nashville in 2008 during the financial crisis. I did not have a job lined up, didn't have a network here. I knew no one. But luckily, I was able to kind of start networking and volunteering. And I eventually met some folks who knew some folks at First Tennessee Bank. So my career in Nashville started at a large bank downtown. I was part of the marketing team. And because it was during the financial crisis, within 3 months of them hiring me, they said, you know what, we're going to do away with the marketing department, but we need you to stick around. And we would love for your help with event planning, marketing, and being an executive assistant to the president. And I was a little surprised, but I figured, why not try it out? And it will be a good learning opportunity. And it was one of the better decisions I've made in my career because I was able to learn so much working for a large company in Nashville. And that's really how I learned to network. First Tennessee, it's First Horizon now, but First Tennessee Bank at the time, they surrounded me with opportunities to join Cable, a women's networking organization, and really just exposed me to all of the nonprofits and board service opportunities in Nashville. And I looked around me and just realized that networking is incredibly important. And so I learned a lot. I learned about how to do business in Nashville and that relationships are incredibly important. And I took that with me when I started my first company in 2010. I started with a laptop and a business card and nothing else but my network. And that's why I always say, and you'll see it in a slide, not yet, you'll see that I say that your network is your capital. And that's really taken me where I am today with my current business. Next slide, please. So today we're going to talk about how your network is your capital. My idea around know the people who know the people. Let's be clear, talking about synergy and how we can create synergistic relationships that help with networking and business development, and just talking about strengthening business relationships and not selling. And we'll end it with a little Q&A. Okay, so like I mentioned, your network is your capital. I started a business in 2010 with nothing more than just my network and a laptop and idea that I was going to create a corporate event planning company. I very quickly dove in and realized that without people in my network, I didn't have anything. So I hustled and I networked. I was out all the time, coffees, meetings, all of that. And I was able to grow my little business, and I grew it to a point where I was really comfortable and happy. I was doing that for about 2 years, and ultimately one of my clients hired me. It was an HCA hospital. So left my company and went to work for HCA. Spent about 5 years there, and then went to another bank. And we'll talk about that later. But your network is your capital. And what I say is that your network is something you can do that is free. It can be fun. It is a lot of work, and it can be, certainly overwhelming because it's like, where do you start, especially now? And I do want to recognize that I realize, during COVID, it is definitely more difficult to network, but please realize that there's other avenues, there's other ways to reach out to people and have connections. With your network, you can build a business, you can get better business and more business. And, it's just something that grows along the way. And I like to say networking is something that can also never be taken away from you. Whether you're starting a business, whether you're going into the corporate world, of course, there's internal and external networking, but those relationships will stay with you throughout your career and throughout your professional life. They won't go away. And no matter where you end up, whether you're a solopreneur or, in the corporate world, you always have those relationships. Next slide. So how do you start? How do you, when you decide you're going to launch this business, or maybe you're in business, you've been in business for a few years and you just want to have better contacts to build your business, to network yourself better. I like to say, and based on experience, where you start is you have to know the people who already know the people. We are on a call right now with one of them. Her name is Zap. She works at the Entrepreneur Center, and Zap is connected to so many companies and to so many people in Nashville. She has done an incredible job at networking herself and the EC. And I mean, she's someone that you should all get to know. I think you already know her, thankfully. But she's an excellent example of someone that you want to get to know, who already has those wonderful connections, who's already done the hard work, frankly. So when you're taking your business, just think of who needs to know what I do? Who is going to be strategic when I, have those meetings, have those Zoom meetings now, have coffees, have lunch? Who are my top 10 to 15 strategic people that need to know about me and my business and what I'm doing? And start there. When I knew that I was going to leave the corporate world and start my business now, I sat down with a legal pad and I just kind of wrote out a list of about 20 people that I knew needed to know about what I do. Next slide, please. A really good example of this is, of course, the Entrepreneur Center, but also the Chamber of Commerce, depending on what you do. Maybe organizations that are specific to your industry. So there's, for me, I'm in marketing and public relations. PRSA would make sense. I'm really involved with the Chamber of Commerce. I do a lot in healthcare, so it made sense for me to align myself with healthcare organizations. And there's a new one, it's specifically for women. So those are just different examples of what makes sense based on what I do for a living. And the people who I know need to know about what I do. So this quote, I love it. Know where you want to go and make sure the right people know about it. So you can decide to start a business, be a solo entrepreneur, be a freelancer, whatever it is, but you're not going to go very far if no one knows what you're doing. And a mentor of mine told me one time, and I will never forget it. It was one of those words of wisdom that I will bring with me always. She said, everyone, talks about it's always about who you know. Well, that's very true. But she said it's also about who knows you. And if you reframe it that way and think about who needs to know who I am. So when there's an opportunity and they're talking about, I need a graphic designer. Do you know anyone? They'll think of you, you're top of mind, and they'll do a referral or an introduction for you on your behalf. So it's thinking of it in a different way. Next slide. Let's be crystal clear. You may not have expected today to be about messaging and elevator pitch, and that's wonderful stuff that that is always talked about for a good reason. Because if you cannot clearly articulate what it is that you do and who your ideal clients are, no one can refer you. And this was a really hard lesson I learned this time in my business. And I just want to share with you my experience and my mistake, frankly. When I started my business about 1.5 years ago, I said, I'm going to do marketing and PR. I've been doing this for 20 years. I am, going to do a website, tell my centers of influence, the list, what I'm doing, and I'm going to do marketing and PR. I think I'll specialize in healthcare because that's what I know really well. And I've also done work in banking, but I'm just going to say I'm a marketing and PR consultant. And that's great. What I realized over time is that it wasn't clear enough. I have a friend who is an excellent networker. And every time I talk to her, she says, what do you do again? And it was frustrating to me because I'm like, well, I've told you several times I do marketing and PR. Well, it dawned on me after a while that, yes, I do marketing and PR, but what is it specifically I do that makes me unique? Because the truth of the matter is there are many, many, many marketing and PR professionals who are solopreneurs or freelancers in the Nashville market and beyond. There just are. And I realized every time I talked to her, she would kind of glaze over and look at me like, oh, well, that's nice. But it wasn't until someone I met actually through the EC, she's so smart. We were talking about networking and what we do. And she said, you need to tell me who your ideal clients are when you tell me that you do marketing and PR. What is it that you bring to the table? What kind of value do you add in a sea of other marketing and PR people? And she said, because if you don't tell me that, I can't help you with referrals. And so we kind of got into it, and I was going through my spiel of, well, healthcare and financial services. And she said, but what do you love to do? Who are your ideal clients? I said, well, it's actually senior care. I have started working with a senior care client, and I absolutely love the work. And she said, oh, well, that's great. Let me introduce you to someone at Brookdale. And it was that easy. So I say all that and share that experience because until I could get very crystal clear on what I did for a living and what my company was all about and who my ideal clients were very specifically, no one could help me out. And frankly, they weren't, because they didn't have a clear understanding of what I did. So I would like to take this time to get everybody going and to do a little networking. So Zap is going to put you into rooms. And what I'd love to do, and this is just practice, but what I'd love to do is for each person to just say their name, what their company is, the name of their company, what you do, and who are your ideal clients, and maybe what makes you unique and how you add value. And it's very difficult, you'll find, to do this in 1 minute, but we're going to take about 5 minutes and get into breakout rooms to practice our networking and to really focus on what we do and be very crystal clear about that.
Okay, we ready? Okay. I invited everyone to join a room. Hopefully
Okay.
they're going.
Hopefully there you go.
Yeah, they're going in. I think I made good ones too. I tried to make it like strategic as well. Oh wait, am I still? No, I'm not muted. Uh-oh. Except someone keeps going in and off, so I'm hoping that works. They keep kind of like, I see them pop up and then they leave, and then I try and add them again.
Yeah, I'm seeing like 5 participants, 7, 9. I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Oops. When the participant number goes down, that means that they go into the room. That doesn't mean that they dropped off the call.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I was
In case
thinking.
you're worried about that. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, uh-oh. No, it's fine. Hey, Zap, do you have an idea, just like maybe 2 or 3 people, what kind of industry they're in so I can start talking about that?
Yeah. We have a couple of folks in healthcare.
Okay.
Let me see. It's hard for me to see the participants at the same time. Let me see. All right. Uh, it looks like we have a lot in healthcare, and then we have a lot of people who are kind of early stage, like they just started their businesses. I would say that's kind of the most common theme.
Okay.
Chandra, I sent you to a room. You didn't go in there.
Oh, okay.
Click join room.
Okay. So I was late. Sorry. So
It's okay. I put you in there a couple minutes ago. It wasn't working.
Oh, okay.
I'm screaming.
Yeah.
Is Porter in your room? Sorry, someone at the EC is by me, and I put them in a. I did the rooms in a fun way. I put some people together who know each other, but with new people as well. But most people don't know each other. All right, Katie, you tell me when we should wrap it up. I didn't start a timer or anything.
Okay. I don't know how, to be honest, I'm not sure how long it's been.
How long do you think you've been in there? We can wait one more minute, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Do people, CEO of Z-Med Health. Oh, okay.
Chandra still didn't join the room. Chandra's just here with us.
Okay.
There you are.
Okay, sorry. Oh, now Chandra went into the room. That's so funny.
So you usually don't turn on the screen, the video for everybody.
What did you say? Sorry.
Usually, no, it's okay. You usually don't turn on the video for everybody, like for all the participants. You just do chat, like for discussions.
Yeah, I mean, no, I like it when people unmute themselves and talk. But
Yeah.
hopefully people are so shy in Zoom, but I
Yeah.
think people today, once they've been in their groups, they'll unmute themselves to talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't. Okay. So there's no video, there's just audio.
No, they have video.
Oh, we literally just can't see anybody.
What? No, you're fine. No, we can't see anyone, but they can share their videos whenever they're ready. I just told them that we're wrapping up.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Okay. Should I close the rooms?
Yeah. And I was thinking, I'll just ask maybe 2 brave people to share, to kind of practice who you are and who your ideal clients are.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to close them. Everybody's coming back to us. Look at them with their videos on this time. Oh my goodness, we're seeing so many faces. I love it. Okay, I think everyone is back.
Great. And Zap, I can't see anybody's video, but that's
Oh,
okay.
I
That's
think
okay.
that's okay. I can see
Yeah.
people's video.
Perfect. Okay. Hello, everyone. So I hope that was great networking, good practice. And I would love to have 2 or 3 brave people introduce themselves, tell us what you do, and tell us who your ideal clients are in less than a minute.
Who wants to unmute themselves and tell us?
Not me.
Any
Yes.
volunteers?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Hi there.
Good.
Chandra, let's have you go.
Okay. So I'm Chandra Bandigula. I'm CEO of ZMed Health. So we connect self-pay and underinsured patients directly with the providers. And we also market to hospitals so that they can publish their prices to the consumers using a tool called Z Tool. So our ideal customers are underinsured and uninsured patients, and also the providers like hospitals, radiology services, and imaging centers and ambulatory surgery centers.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Who's next? James, do you want to go?
Sure. Yes. So I own a magazine called the 37208. It focuses on issues in that zip code, such as the highest incarceration rate in the nation, poverty, and education. So I also have another business side to it that that seeks to provide adult education to high school dropouts, as well as job training and entrepreneurial classes.
Excellent. How long have you been in business?
So I've been writing the magazine since I think March. So I've completed 3 of them already.
Nice. Let's have one more person. Maybe can I call on someone? How about Woody?
I was actually going to raise my hand, so thank you for doing that.
Hi there.
Yes. Hey, so I'm Woody Bibb. I work with, my company is Bibb Ventures, and it's a medical device consulting type firm. So I spent my first 15 years of my career working with Boston Scientific and Guidant in the cardiovascular and peripheral vascular world. And that's where I cut my teeth and really learned the foundation. 10 years after that, I worked with 7 smaller startup companies. 4 of those were acquired, 3 of them by Boston Scientific. And after all that, I thought, well, I've got a lot more experience and went back to school at Vanderbilt last year. Got an executive MBA certificate series and joined the Wondery. And then so my passion has become to help build the medical device community in Nashville in the state of Tennessee. So my ideal clients would be somebody who's got some concepts that they want to get through the early commercialization, make sure they've done the right discovery, and then help them develop pilots and deliver those and implement those into clinical practice.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Woody. I think we have time for maybe one more person.
Someone else want to go? Who has their camera on? Maybe Isaiah, Tim, Melissa.
This is your opportunity to network with the group.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Melissa Duban. My company is Veritas AI, and we are developing an app to deliver innovative substance abuse therapy right into the hands of patients. It's an innovative program that is based on empowerment, and our ideal clients are the people that have lost hope from being churned through the cycle over and over again. So hopefully we can restore that and help out. There's certainly a lot of people in need.
Thank you. Thank you for that important work.
Let's do is Porter. Porter, you want to unmute yourself? Where is Porter? He's like
Sure.
right
Hey, I'm on the way to a meeting actually. My name's Porter Kennedy, and I own a paper straw business here in town. Our three main clientele segments are restaurants and food services. The second one is retailers. We're working on that one right now. So we sell boxes of straws to retailers. And so, for example, Whole Foods or Publix might have them on their shelves. And then the third one is consumers, just direct to consumer. And we sell them off our website and Instagram and different stuff like that. So, yeah.
Excellent. I'm getting in the car. Okay. Anybody else want to take advantage of this opportunity?
I'll go.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Katie and Zach. My name's Tim Burnham. Excuse me. I recently started my own business, and it's actually a franchise that I invested in. And the name of the franchise is Expense Reduction Analysts, or ERA. And we help small to medium businesses find savings hidden in their expenses. And one thing unique about us is that we use a success-based model, which means if we don't find any savings, then there is no fee. And whatever savings we do find, we split that with the client. Ideal client would be manufacturing, healthcare, nonprofit, any business that might be struggling with supply chain issues. There's really nobody we can't help. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Zap. If you don't mind, let's go into the next slide, and we'll leave time at the end for anyone else to go and talk about their business, introduce themselves, and also for Q&A. So as my quote says here, networking is marketing. Marketing yourself, your uniqueness, and what you stand for. I love quotes. Next slide, please. Sorry, moving you over. Okay. So building relationships and not selling. Networking hopefully leads to sales, to business development, to money, to growing your capital, to growing your assets. But it takes time. Like anything else, relationships take time to build and take time to nurture. So I'm sure a lot of you have been the victim of the LinkedIn cold call. It's not exactly a call, but it's a message. It is a very, very, very generic, hey, I'm wondering if we could jump on a call and I want to sell you XYZ. So this is not, direct selling, cold call, that just solicitation through LinkedIn or even email. This is actually building a relationship and nurturing that and taking the time to do that. And really, when you invest in relationships, just like a friendship, a partnership, anything else, it can last as long as you need it to. It just takes time and effort. So I've just put a few different tips here for building relationships, and this can translate to LinkedIn as well. And again, I know the world is much harder for networking during COVID, but I have personally used a lot of these different ways to reach out to people. And again, to really, I think of it as checking in, to being empathetic when maybe I see something on social media or hear from a friend or see on LinkedIn that someone has lost their grandmother. Something, they're trying to overcome adversity. I always make sure, just, as a friend and as someone who loves to build relationships, to check in, simply just to say, hey, thinking of you. Just know that, my thoughts are with you. And it can be as simple as that. Just simply checking in. Hey, I'm just checking in to see how your family's doing. I know this is a crazy time, and it doesn't have to be very strategic or fancy, just a touch point. So you are thought of as someone they can go to when they need your help with your business. And also they look to you as a partner and as someone that is empathetic and genuine and authentic. So, once you start caring about people and giving back and just doing little check-ins here and there, it's just little tiny things. I feel that it goes a very long way. So, on LinkedIn loves to say, Zap just celebrated her 2nd anniversary with the Nashville Entrepreneur Center. Send her a note, put it in the comments, tag her, say, Zap, congratulations, you're doing a great job. All those little things matter and mean a lot. And so when she sees that, she'll say, oh, Katie thought of me. How nice. Wonder how she's doing. It's just simple little things that go a long way. I love educating people about a new group or an event or a helpful webinar. Maybe there's somebody in my center of influence on that big list of 20 people or so that, has been a friend or a mentor or has helped me with my business, introduced me to, someone I want to be in front of. And maybe I hear of this webinar and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know about this webinar that the EC is putting on. Thought you'd find it interesting. And it's, again, really simple, but thoughtful gestures that just tell people that you're thinking of them. And it can just be simple. So really finding ways to give back and find ways to add value and to educate them. Hey, saw this article in the Business Journal about your company. This is such exciting news for Nashville and for you. Congratulations. Things like that. Also, just thinking about how you can add value and make an introduction. I thankfully know so many people who are willing to say, oh, I know of so-and-so. I would love to do an email introduction. And they actually do it. But I, I'm very careful, and I think it's just a really good practice to do the same. If you're, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. If you are reading something or a friend of yours says, I'm really looking for a printer, and a friend of yours knows, well, take the extra time to send an email introduction to that person. It's just different ways to give back that are kind and thoughtful and don't take a lot of time, but also kind of works into this relationship building. Sending cards, thank you notes, those are all really good examples. Next slide, please. Networking is about farming more than it is about hunting. I thought that was a really great quote. Farming takes time just to nurture everything than it is about hunting. And, those blanket connections or emails on LinkedIn that we all get and we just don't enjoy, that is about hunting and what's in it for you. But farming is about how you can give back and be a resource to other people. Next slide. Synergy. I have learned a lot about synergy, and I'd like to share some of my experiences with you. Collaboration is key. I have found that we live in a very collaborative city, and we're very, very lucky to live in such a wonderful city. I truly feel that people in Nashville are willing to collaborate, to invite you to the table, to open up their resources to you if you ask. And I think collaboration can make your business go much further. So, for example, if you find a way to partner with someone who does something similar as your industry, collaborate together to maybe go after a larger piece of business together. Work together for, the common good and to be a resource and a value add for your clients. I say the competition, look to the competition. I learned a lot about this personally. When I started out, I identified several marketing and PR agencies in town and thought, wow, I hope in 2 or 3 years I'm like them. I started following them on social media and watching them and just seeing, how much fun they were having. And I just thought, it would be so great to have a model like they do and to have the fun they do and to work with the kind of clients they do. But I'm going to be honest, I never really understood the level at which people in Nashville, especially based on my experience, have been open to partnering. So, for example, another PR marketing agency, I've learned to go to them and say, hey, can we partner together and try to go after XYZ business? Or, hey, if you don't want to do PR to launch this hospital, I'm your person. How can we work together and complement our skill sets and our experience? And that really goes a long way. So it's just being strategic and thinking about your competition, admiring them, being friends with them, and seeing how you can work together and partner up. And the final thought is referrals are a two-way street. As I mentioned before, once you cultivate these relationships and receive a few referrals, you always need to give back and find ways to which you can do the same for other people. It's a two-way street. It is not a one-way street. And I would suggest a best practice would also be if you do get a referral or a great introduction to a certain company that you've been dying to get in touch with, please take the time to be thankful and to send a thank you note to those people. That is one thing that I have found a lot of people drop the ball with. And just based on my experience, I think it's really, really important to be grateful and to show appreciation for those referrals because they're gold. You don't have to pay for them. Again, networking is free, but those referrals and word of mouth are gold. And you don't ever want to take advantage of that or take it for granted. Let's see, we have about 15 minutes left. So if you'd like, we can open it up for questions and answers. And we can also have the opportunity for other people to share what they do and who their ideal clients are to capitalize on this time we have together.
Up to folks.
We have 17 people. Hello, everyone.
Anyone who didn't share want to share right now?
I guess I can share.
Yeah.
My name is Isaiah Mack. I run On Zeddy's LLC. It's actually a small family-owned blueberry farm. We currently have 5 varieties of blueberries, and my primary customer is like small mom and pop shops and direct to consumers through like farmers markets.
That's so cool. I'm so glad you're back with us after last week, Isaiah.
Yeah, I like doing this kind of stuff, so why not?
How do we find you?
Currently, so I recently relocated from the Minneapolis area, and our farm is actually located in Michigan. This year, I'm kind of like scouting out the market to see what farmers markets I can actually sell at. And so I'm trying to figure that out. And then I'm also I'm starting to make contacts with various restaurants that I like their food. I usually pick like customers based on of me liking their cooking styles. And so, yeah. But I will get that information. I need to get that stuff up. I don't know. Farming is hard. It takes time, like one of the slides said previously. So I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah. I have a question. Would people be interested if we did virtual networking for Renew? For some context, when COVID just broke out for the EC, I did virtual networking in April and beginning of May, but then I stopped because people just got super fatigued. And honestly, like I was very fatigued. But today makes me think that maybe people would be interested in like getting on a Zoom and like I could do breakout rooms and you're in 5 minutes and like every 5 minutes we like switch who you're talking to. I would just love to hear like how could I help people at the EC network? Like have people use Slack? Has that been helpful for them? So any thoughts?
I liked the networking at like Project Healthcare and then breaking that into small rooms where it's a little more specific by category, but I actually still learned something from every single person anyway. So that is good to do. But anyway, I just know that was a good format that you guys did with that.
Yeah, that was on Hopin instead of Zoom. I would love to use Hopin more. James, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. The only concern is that if there's a good way to get like at least an email address, I'm not sure if it's like just like to type it in or not. I'm not sure, but some way to get email addresses so we can continue like the conversation and everything.
Totally. Yeah, you can always chat with people, but there might be a mechanism we can manually do, like send out all the emails after.
Well, James, just what you can do as an example in the chat box here, if you hadn't used it yet, that's what Tara did. So she had
Okay.
asked for my email because we had talked about a common introduction that I could make for her. So
Right.
that's one of the things you can do too, is through chat, is just privately
Okay.
message somebody if you
That
haven't
makes
done that yet.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I've heard the Healthcare Council does awesome networking. What do they do, Melissa?
They have speed networking. It's every other week. And everybody starts off in one room, and then you do 1 minute with one person, and then three 3-on-3 sessions. And it's fantastic.
That's cool. Cool. Well, I think we might wrap up unless there's anything else, Katie.
No, I don't think so. Just, if anyone has any questions, my contact information is at the end. It's katie@katieradel.com. Feel free to shoot me an email if you have any questions or want to just brainstorm about how to get in front of more people. I'm here to offer support. I am an advisor with the EC and I absolutely love it. And I love what Zap and her team are doing with Renew because it's incredibly needed. We all need help right now in support, and just, doing things like this, I think is hopefully really helpful. So anything I can do to help, I'm here.
Awesome. Yeah, and Katie is an advisor. If you'd like to meet with her, let me know. But anyways, thanks everyone for being on this call. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.